Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. So, here we are at the final season of my Sofia the First memory lane, and I really want to apologize for starting so late. If only I didn't have so much on my plate over the past couple months. And again, thanks to Randall Bruton for requesting me to do this marathon. Also to note, for those who have not been watching me lately, I've previously blogged several episodes from this season, like the Tale of the Eternal Torch, the Mystic Isles special, the Princess and the Protector, the Mayor of the Mist, the Falcon's Eye, the Great Pretender, A Very Mystic Wassalia, A Hero for the Hoodwinks, Undercover Fairies, Return to Maraway Cove, and the finale, Forever Royal. Anyway, for this month, or at least what's left of it, I like to blog 2 episodes which center on Cedric. And the one that I've chosen to start with is a pretty interesting but twisted one. Airing on television on April 28th, 2017, this is Day of the Sorcerers. So, on for the plot of the episode. In this, Cedric attends a secret meeting of sorcerers at Hexley Hall, where he learns that each sorcerer is plotting to overthrow their rulers using Medusa stones, and he must decide between taking over Enchancia and his friendship with Sofia. So, what do I think of this episode? Well, in my opinion, this was both an interesting, epic, and twisted episode. And I think it was a really amazing episode to start off Sofia's 4th season. And to further explain what I mean, let's move on to Mustang notes. Now, firstly, this is the first episode where the show now features opening credits, listing the writers, storyboard artists, and directors, just like with Elena of Avalor. Secondly, the moral of this episode is true friends help a friend do what's right, which is another lesson that I know about. As for the animation, well, in my eyes, like in the past 3 seasons, Toei on CGI is excellent, and I like that this episode partly takes place at Hexley Hall, which was last featured in the Hexley Hall episode where Sofia and Cedric went to in order to research the Amulet of Avalor's new powers, while also preventing Grimtrix from seizing said amulet. Plus, as I said in my blog, I think Hexley Hall is very similar to Hogwarts from the Wizarding World. Then again, this whole series is packed with Harry Potter references, so I'm not that surprised. Speaking of which, the Order of the Wand, which includes Grimtrix, Greylock the Grand, Baron von Roca, and Morgana, is, in a way, a reference to the Order of the Phoenix. Anyway, those facts aside, I like that the episode features a painting of the Mystic Isles, and this was before Sofia got to go there for a Storykeeper mission. And I like that it references a few previous episodes and specials. Also, I like that it features wizards that we've seen before, like Wu Chang, Marshak, and Merlin. Plus, I find it funny that the Enchancia dungeon includes a couple prisoners who resemble characters from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. As for the story, well, I like that the main theme is about change, and I thought the final climax at the Enchancia castle was really thrilling, epic, and satisfying. Now let's talk about the episode's song, My Evil Dream, sung by Cedric and Wormwood. To me, this is the kind of song that really makes you feel deep pain for a lonely and mistreated character who takes refuge in a fantasy world that makes him feel like he has a home, because he lives in a place where lots of people misjudge him and always point out his mistakes. Plus, I thought the scene in which Cedric throws away the attackers is very powerful, and It really brings a tear to my eye every time I listen to this song. And now, let's move on to the characters and their voice actors. Princess Sofia is voiced by Ariel Winter, best known for voicing young Kairi in the Kingdom Hearts game series, Marina in Jake and the Neverland Pirates, a few of Thumper's sisters in Bambi 2, Marlene in the complete version of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, young Trixie in Speed Racer, Penny Peterson in DreamWorks' Mr. Peabody and Sherman, and Smurf Lily in Smurfs the Lost Village. Now, this episode marks the second time where Sofia is Cedric's magical apprentice. And to me, Sofia is a kind, helpful, and compassionate princess. Plus, like in several previous episodes, I like that Sofia sees the good in almost everybody, including Cedric. However, after finding out about Cedric attempting to take over Enchancia behind her back, Sofia becomes heartbroken. Some of my favorite moments in this episode that involve Sofia is when she rides on a broomstick back to her castle, where she reminds Cedric about the times when he helped her save Royal Prep in Substitute Cedric, when he helped her beat Princess Ivy in The Curse of Princess Ivy, and when he let Morgana catch him in Gone with the Wand, and where she tells her dad, King Roland, that when she first became a princess in Once Upon a Princess, her sister Amber did some mean things to her, but she did give Amber a second chance. Also, I thought Sofia was really brave while defending herself from Grimtrix's Medusa stones using a shield, and I liked the part where she tells the royal guards to seize Grimtrix after he was defeated. Our main character, Cedric the Sensational, is voiced again by Jess Harnell, aka Wacko Warner from the Animaniacs series. In this episode, during a secret meeting with Grimtrix, Cedric was, at first, hesitant to take his chance to finally see his evil dreams come true, only to go through with it anyway. But later, when Sofia confronts him, insisting that this isn't really what he wanted, Cedric couldn't bring himself to harm her, which led to his capture. In my opinion, Cedric may have done a lot of bad things throughout the first 3 seasons, but he's not really a villain at heart. Sure, he can sometimes be a bit of a bumbler, but still not evil. Plus, I thought the part where Cedric reveals to King Roland and the royal family about how he was never good enough for his parents or for the kingdom, and how his years of mistreatment have made him feel very desperate to prove himself as a royal sorcerer, was a very sympathetic and understandable moment. Also, I thought the scene where Cedric freezes the royal family with a Medusa stone was his most devious act in the whole series. But thankfully, Cedric redeems himself by helping Sofia defeat Grimtrix and finally giving up on stealing the throne. Next is his raven, Wormwood, voiced by the great Jim Cummings. Now, ever since the Hexley Hall episode, Wormwood has been given human speech after Cedric accidentally spilled a speaking potion on him. To me, while he is loyal to Cedric, Wormwood can be very manipulative and convincing, especially when he tries to give advice to his master. Also, he was the one who told Sofia about Cedric's plans to take over Enchancia, and about all of his plots to steal her amulet ever since she first arrived at the castle. We also have Princess June, voiced by Michaela Z. In this episode, June is helping Wu Chang at the Conjurer's Conference at Hexley Hall by making a magical paper dragon kite come to life. To me, while she doesn't have a big role here, I still think June is one of the most memorable princesses that Sofia goes to Royal Prep with, and my favorite scene is when June helps Sofia save all the good sorcerers who have been trapped in the library by being as loud as they can to get the shusher off the door. Finally, we come to the evil headmaster of Hexley Hall, Grimtrix, voiced by Billy West. In this episode, Grimtrix lures Cedric into a secret meeting of dark wizards to persuade him to take over Enchancia by using Medusa stones. However, the meeting becomes a trap when Grimtrix goes against Cedric after he fails, and he reveals that he had little confidence in him. In the end, Cedric ends up defeating him by turning his spell against him, proving his own worth as a sorcerer, and Grimtrix, along with his weasel Wrigley, get taken to the dungeon once and for all. And now onto my final words. Overall, Day of the Sorcerers is a terrific and thrilling episode to start off Princess Sofia's 4th season. It has great animation, as well as several nostalgic moments. I like how Sofia accepts Cedric as a true friend, despite being lied to these past 3 seasons. Cedric's friendship relationship with Sofia is very strong. His motivation to take over Enchancia makes him very understandable, and I like that he finally turns over a new leaf and redeems himself. There are also several memorable cameos from June, Wu Chang, and Merlin, and Grimtrix was a very devious villain, due to him giving Medusa stones to Cedric and other dark sorcerers. And I'm glad that he won't be threatening any more kingdoms again. Plus, there's plenty of fast-paced, but still very high suspense, and I like how this episode teaches viewers about seeing the good in others and realizing they change, as well as realizing you shouldn't force things to change in order to make yourself feel good. As for my rating, I'll give it a full 100%. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me for my next blog, where I look at an episode where one of the Wicked Nine becomes stolen. Mustang Power.